Welcome back. Well, if you've read any good books this year or you're looking for some good books to read, we have got the top 5 books of 2012. Book people in studio here with us, Marie Franke. Thank you so much for being here so bright and early.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and you brought a stack of books with you.
Yes, I did.
And my first question a minute ago was, are these books that a lot of people might have already heard about, or are they secrets?
Some of these are pretty well known. However, some of them came out this year and they just didn't really receive the recognition that they deserved. But we'll go ahead and go through the list, and I'll give you a little rundown of each of them.
Sounds good.
All right. First we have Pulphead by John Jeremiah Sullivan. This is a nonfiction collection of literary essays. Mr. Sullivan is quite well recognized in the literary journalism community, and this is just a very eclectic mix of lots of different topics ranging from Christian rock music to Michael Jackson. He is a wizard with words. He really just knows how to weave a story in a way that's extremely compelling. Something that you never thought you would care about becomes immensely careable.
That one interests me because he's a journalist.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna put that on my list.
Okay.
To read. Okay, moving along.
Moving along. This is fiction, A Partial History of Lost Causes. Kind of a dual story of someone living in Russia and someone living here in the United States. A Russian chess prodigy is despairing about the political situation in Russia, and he endeavors to go against Vladimir Putin in his political schemes, which is of course a lost cause, and he knows it. And then on the other side of the world, we have an English teacher whose father was in communication with this chess player, and he proposes to him this question of, what do you do when you're faced with a lost cause? How do you proceed in that? This book is one of those just literary marvels. It's this is her debut novel, Jennifer Dubois, and she just, again, a wizard with words. She knows exactly how to paint a picture in a way that you can almost feel like you're there in the story with her.
Yeah.
So another great literary read here.
Okay.
This is another nonfiction, The Long Walk. This is Brian Kastner. He served 3 tours of duty in the Middle East, and he was part of this group of specialists who would go in when they were called, when they found out about a bomb or some sort of explosive device that needed to be disarmed. And if the remote control devices were unable to disarm it, then he would have to don this 80-pound suit and get in there and take the long walk to this active explosive device and try and disarm it without endangering himself. But it's not only just about his tours of duty, it talks about him coming home and having to reconstruct a life after having lived through all of these horrors of war. Really moving memoir, extremely powerful. If you read Yellow Birds by Kevin Powers, this is another great read to kind of follow up with that.
And then we've got about 15 seconds or so, so just mention these other 2 titles.
Sure. In Between Days, another fiction. This guy came to Book People, great author, kind of under-recognized story about any family you may have met, but brilliantly told. And Consider the Fork by B. Wilson, an acclaimed food critic, about the history of kitchen utensils. Who knew they would be so fascinating? But really, it's a fantastic read for any kitchen aficionado you might know.
All right. We'll have all of these books listed on our website along with several others. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and David, it's a good day to